Good evening, Melrosians the world over. I'm Tom Catalini.
I'm Sam Hammer.
I'm Tom Shampoo.
And I'm Jen LeClaire.
And this is Let's Talk Melrose. Melrose, it's a show where Melrosians talk to Melrosians about Melrose, and we have the full cast here tonight. Nobody's skipping out on us. And did anybody else see? I know Sam saw Tom and Jen. I don't know if you shared in the Steve Cazella sighting this past weekend.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, saw him, shook his hand. We were having the block party in the neighborhood, and he came by during the rain delay. I don't know what else to call it. It was a little funky. It was a little funky this weekend, and we had some rain before, and then I thought we were in the clear, and he had everything set up. Then had to scurry, and in that, of course, Steve is fully prepared in his raincoat, and he's just apparently, monitoring the streets. I'm not sure what he was up to.
He's making sure everything's in place.
He was polling. Yeah.
He was saying satisfaction of the band.
Block party season in Melrose, so he was just checking them all out. He was rating them, I'm sure.
Right. I did see him, but I did not shake his hand like you, Tom. So you got a glorious face-to-face with him.
Yeah,
crossed away. It
was great. He was a little disgruntled, but I think he was on. I think he was on patrol. Well, he was worried that the band hadn't yet played the LTMM theme song, and I was like, "Well, it is raining, and we just slid all the equipment under cover." But and he might be in. Hey, Mike Miner, what's happening? He might be. It might have been game face because I think he was on patrol. I don't think it was just a walk.
Yeah. Right. He was making the rounds, making the
rounds, making sure things were in order.
Yes, and also I still have Audrey's umbrella. It is safe.
I left that in your capable hands, Sam Hammer.
So Steve's wife Audrey, who's so kind, insisted I take her umbrella, and I said I don't want it because you're not going to get it back. And she said you're going to take it and you're going to give it back. And I said yes, ma'am. So I still have it, and I have yet to get it back. But,
so we had a couple of evenings last week with rain.
Yes.
Neither time did it dampen the spirits of those attending. Mm-hmm. But Friday night, the Pride event at the Congregational Church over on Franklin Street. I think everybody was there. I think. Well,
I didn't think it was going to be on the Beebe estate.
And, it was going to be, and they moved it.
And the weather kind of pushed it indoors. Yeah.
Game day decision to move it to indoors. I was working the pizza table.
Yep, here's the
and there's
You're
the
so
church.
tiny.
Is that me? I'm a wee lad. What was I doing there, by the way? I was sort of
like you're on the phone.
You're on the phone.
I was on the phone.
Gloves on.
Gloved hands.
I had my pizza hands. I had food gloves. Those clear plastic gloves. I was serving pizza for everybody there, and we had 20 pizzas delivered at 5:00. And 20 more delivered at 6:00.
Oh my gosh.
All the pizza went. 40 pizzas was really fantastic.
Packed.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Wow, it was a little humid in there, but it was the right call because it was raining outside. But
it did rain.
Yeah, great. Some really inspiring, great lineup of speakers. Some really inspiring speakers.
Activities.
I really liked A.S. DeMarco's speech was very good. And the Reverend Katie was incredibly moving. It was really nice and lots of fun, lots of nice activities and lots of fun informational booths, and everyone had their Pride t-shirts on and flags and pins. It was great.
Yep.
Well done. Mission.
There's Nancy Clover was there. We had the same shirt on. We both wore it great.
Yes,
and
you
then
did.
There's Doug DeBrielle and Michelle Carson, of course. Right. So it was good. It was great.
Nice.
Yeah. A lot of fun. And one thing I love about Pride specifically, like this event, is you can scan the room and just feel pure love.
Yeah. Joy.
Every person is there out of love and respect. And it's just one of those events that just you can feel it around you.
Yeah. Agree.
Thank you. Good job.
It's true.
Agree. You're full of love and pizza.
I was going to say pizza and cake always make you feel that way, right? A little extra room for pizza and cake.
Yeah.
It was a fun event. It was nice.
There was so much going on, and I didn't make it to Hometown Heroes, but I think Sam, you stopped by the next day. Did we? I saw it set up the night before, but I didn't see on Saturday during the day. We do a block party prep over here.
Yeah, I did. And I'm going to check my voicemail because I swear I should have won one of the raffle prizes. There were some really good ones there, but yes, I took Sammy, and we were there. There's firefighter John White and Paul Norton, police officer, and yeah, everybody was really kind. There was food everywhere, and everybody was just having a good time. There was a table behind where they're standing for fallen heroes. So it was really moving, and people were coming in and out throughout the day to get honored and have food, and again, not win raffle prizes. I mean, maybe win raffle prizes. But yeah, there was some great. It was great. It's a great event. So
shout out to a friend of the show, Mark Hall, who has been doing an amazing job activating that Columbus space. And doing this.
Yeah, with more to come. So later in the summer, stay tuned. I think there's going to be more and more events.
Oh,
so, yeah.
You know something that we don't?
So we're talking about this. If we can pull it off, we're going to do the first Friday night blues night towards the end of July. So that would be open for other people to come up and jam and sing along.
Oh my gosh!
Upstairs.
Bring saxophone, trombone, whatever. Join the band, replace the band. Replace a member of the band. Do your own set, whatever. We're going to do a blues sort of night, and if all goes well, we'll launch in concert with the Summer Stroll.
Oh, cool!
That, again, talking about Mark's brilliant strategy to activate the space. So while everybody's out and about having a great time, Summer Stroll winds down, I think, typically around 6. Maybe you grab a bite to eat, pop over to the nights, do a blues jam thing.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Brilliant.
Fun.
Super cool.
Yeah.
On Saturday, did anybody go to the EV event? I saw some posts on Facebook of people who went. I think it was probably similar to last year. It looked like
I didn't. I drove past.
I did not.
In your regular car?
I drove past in my gas guzzling.
I'm sorry.
I drove by in my SUV.
Good. Tom, when did you go where you rode that board?
That was last
year. Years ago?
Yeah, that was last year. It really is. It's a cool event because there's other people who own these things who are enthusiasts, and they're happy to share and teach you stuff. So it was really great.
When you were there last year, did you see Sam drive by in her gas guzzling car?
No, we were there already. Shampoo, thanks for resurrecting a terrible. But we almost did pull over because we are interested in seeing what the vehicles are. There were some great alternatives to, just a Tesla. No offense to just a Teslas, but
no, but you're right. Everybody makes an EV now. So
yeah, we're actually going to look into it as well because my daughter, my oldest, is going to need a car, so we're thinking about substituting one and if you're listening, Clara Martin, selling the other car to her.
We're always probably X years behind the times because we get a lot of used cars. So what the newest car we have now has a backup camera, which is taking me like 2 years to get used to all this advanced technology. I used to just turn in the head.
Yeah.
And
your neck thanks you. You don't have to.
That's still 20th century, Tom. Turning your neck.
Elbow up on the.
I know. I'm of the era. I know.
Yeah.
I was going to say the EV stations, those charging stations around town, I feel like they're always in use now. I see them all the time. They drop down from the telephone poles and then you can charge the cars. I went to play soccer last weekend at the high school, and there's a station right there near the baseball field. Cars there plugged in.
Wow.
The station. There's a couple of charging stations in the back Shaw's parking lot back there. 2 cars are plugged in. I feel like it's kind of great to see that. So it's being used, and it's really a great service for people who have EVs.
You see that, and you just see people buzzing by on their different electric vehicles. So
Yeah.
it's becoming more and more common.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. So are we going to transition into the news? What are we doing next?
Yeah,
Let's
oh,
do it.
I guess we do have to transition.
The news. This week is like the news.
In the news, here we are.
In the news, if you want to keep up with city finances, the budget hearings continue. Last Thursday, they talked about, last night, they talked about Health and Human Services, Council on Aging. So there's a lot of information out there, and we can share the link if you go to the fiscal year 24 budget landing page. So there's tons of meetings about all the different departments. There's tons of documents out there that you can, if you're interested, you can look through and you can speak into the process. So we just wanted to point that out to folks that continues. I'm not sure when it ends, probably before the fiscal year starts. So now's a good time to go and take a peek.
Our link is not great yet. I'll get on it.
That's my fault. Sorry about that.
Tom Catalini will first run all of the budget hearings and all the documentation through ChatGPT.
Right.
Is that still a thing, Tom?
I have been doing some experimenting with AI and the city meetings in Melrose, because it would be interesting, right?
Did I just scoop you, by the way? Did I just scoop it? Okay.
Yeah, I found some of the good folks at MMTV, and it's just sort of an idea to bounce around now. But we're sort of wondering, like, could you, in this day and age where it's hard to keep up, but we have all this advanced technology, could you have the robot go to the meeting for you and give you a synopsis? So you would be learning things after the fact, but you might inform your decision if you saw, quick, easy bullet points instead of watching a 2-hour meeting. You might go, yeah, that's one I want to watch. And the idea would be that, if the process moves pretty slowly and deliberately, so you would have additional opportunities. So it's not as good as attending a meeting live and seeing it for yourself, but it has been sort of fun to dabble around. And the AI space is advancing so fast. As soon as you start to figure things out, maybe there's a tool or an app that's doing that. So I have to believe that something like this is in our future. But I do worry because we just don't have the kind of local journalism that we used to. And I'm not sure it's coming back in the way we're used to it. And the robot would never replace that. But is there a shortcut to sitting through all the meetings yourself, live, or even watching a recording afterwards? So could the robot watch it? And you can transcribe the videos pretty easily in an automated fashion, and you can do some summarization. Actually, I transcribed some of the meetings and then ran them through ChatGPT, but you start to run into the limitations of the current version of ChatGPT and how much it can hold. There's different plugins to play around with. Also, like, can it read the PDFs for you? So there's a 152-page PDF. Like, the information's there, but it is a challenge as a citizen to be able to process it. And but again, nothing would replace going to the meeting or a local journalism, but it's just sort of like a little robot reporter might be an interesting aid in the process.
Yes. Yeah.
So this is a great topic. I think we should talk about this because I feel like what's changed about these kinds of meetings? Have they gotten longer? It's like the baseball effect. Jen, this is a sports ball analogy. The baseball effect where it's got longer over time, and all of a sudden a 2-hour meeting becomes a 4-hour meeting. Or is it that the local news has become so watered down or so hard to maintain and manage that you lose the ability to actually track what's going on? What's happened over 30 or 40 years that we used to get this information, but now we don't? Or like what can we do to make it better, I guess, is also part of that question. But
I think the original balance was journalism, right? So the government is designed to have an open process. So you have to do it all out in the open, and you had journalists. So in the old days it was newspapers, and they were sensationalized and they were social media-esque back in the day. If you study this stuff and look into that. But now we've sort of taken that away, and then the vibe of what people pay attention to, I think, has changed. You and I have talked about this, right? Where if it's not super sensational, soundbitey, people sort of drift off. So I don't know if the meetings have gotten longer. They're still happening out in the open, but I think it's just a slow, deliberate process, as it should be. So we just talked about the budget thing, right? So you meet with every department once a week for X weeks. They're going through this. It's all written down. It's in the agenda packet. Like, it's all right there out in the open. But really, just the folks who are directly involved seem to pay the closest attention because they have to. I don't know. Maybe there's some circle of people who pay close attention beyond that. And there used to be a journalist who would bring that to everybody else. And not everybody pays attention to that. But it just feels like there's a big gap there.
Yeah. And also, I think, Jen, you ran into somebody over the weekend who just said, I don't want to have to pay attention to local government again. Wasn't that you?
Really?
Yeah.
It was not me, but but I was there for the conversation afterwards. Yeah.
That somebody just said, I don't want to have to, because there have been a few surprises over the last 4 years or so. That somebody just said, like, I don't want to have to really, that's why we elect people. I don't want to really have to pay attention to local government every week and wonder what surprise is coming next or how things are being run, or just want to have some stability in how our local government is run. So they don't really have to focus on these 4-hour meetings to see what surprise may come up.
Right.
We've discussed that too, and I actually agree with that sentiment. I want the city council to do their thing. I want the school committee to do their thing, and I just want to know that they're doing it the best possible way. But I don't want to go and spend my Monday night sitting in a meeting for 3 hours.
Right. I mean, unless it's, like Tom said earlier, like there are certain things that come up. Like if you had a synopsis of something, and then you knew that something that was, really pertinent to you,
right,
or concerning for you, then you might make the time to dive in, and if it's something that's going to impact like your neighborhood or something,
right,
you're gonna spend the time to really pay close attention. But other than that, you expect things to be kind of humming along. And I think also the journalism piece, the pace of life used to be slower, right? So there'd be a super long government meeting, and to your point, they're long and open and deliberate. There's a process, and it's cumbersome, but it is what it is. But we had the patience to, wait a day or so for a journalistic summary of what happened, and even if somewhat sensationalized, it was still a thorough summary. And now it's like there's so much media, and we're all so busy that we just take the snippets here and there.
You do have a choice.
I got the gist, and I'm moving on.
You have a choice to unplug. So I watch less and less news. I mean, certainly the all news networks, I don't watch it all anymore. I still will watch a little bit of evening news, but it's actually the first 8 minutes, and I'm out, really done. I agree with you, Jen. So for a while, I used to subscribe to this magazine called The Week, and it would summarize everything in a balanced and concise way. And because I realized, like, I don't need to know as it happens, but once a week, I'll read a summary, and that was good enough. And then the other comment I had based on sort of life today, this is something I've started doing. I don't know if you guys dabble with this at all, but I'm getting done with like a lot of stuff happening over text threads and whatever. And I'm calling people more often.
Ugh. No. Don't call me. If you call me, I will be so worried that somebody is hurt. Don't.
Oh my goodness.
Right now.
I'm not, I already do not disturb.
Before I can even tell you how wonderful it is.
She's throwing it out the window.
Yeah, no, I do not disturb is on.
You're not answering.
I'm focused on the show. Don't call me. Somebody.
So my brother was coming to the block party on Saturday, and so I could have texted him something. Instead, I picked up the phone. We had a 15-minute conversation, and it.
How much it pains him to even think about that. 15 minutes at one time? What a waste.
Anyway,
sometimes if I do use the phone,
of information.
I know.
I mean, you're going door to door, right?
Yeah, I love that. That's
because it's face to face.
In real life, yeah.
It's face to face.
But the other thing is, if I do need to make a phone call, I will text the person first to arrange.
Can
like
I call you?
I'm about. No surprises. Everyone's fine.
Right.
If I'm calling you something is on fire or something.
I want to get.
That hasn't been true with every phone call I have received from Sam Hammer.
Yeah.
I want to get John Hammer's perspective on this. How often does he talk to you on the phone? If the answer is never, then we know.
We mostly call to make like a quick a transaction or exchange of information. Like, what are you doing for lunch?
Right.
Goodbye.
Right.
Or like,
who's
did you forget to
the
pick
dog?
up a kid?
Do you want Domino's?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the question: have you ever called your spouse at home when they're at home?
Yes.
What
Right?
do you mean at home?
No,
When you're both at home. I was going to say we don't have a
both.
home phone anymore.
No, I meant like you call each other. Or
When Stephanie's been unable to find me, I've received some calls. Yeah. And I've called her too. And say same thing. It's like, wait a minute, I know she's here. Like what? And you check the location, and the two dots are just right next to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Just checking.
All right.
Just wondering.
Okay. We should move on. That was a huge tangent, but it was very interesting. That was an interesting chat. Okay. In other news, our friends at Melrose Kind are running a PJ's drive. They are collecting new children's pajamas for one of their kindness drives. You can donate new children's pajamas to the Kindness Porch at 249 Grove Street. They're about halfway to their goal. They're looking for 200. They've got around 100 so far. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So hit Target this weekend and
I
just
think,
pick up some pajamas.
From what I remember, they have, because when people go to buy new pajamas, they're like, oh, look at this cute little onesie, or they get all the little things. But it's the bigger kids that also.
Oh, they need big kids. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Toddlers and older, yeah. Okay.
That makes sense.
Sounds good.
What else is going
on? I was going to say school's out June 15th, but only one of us has. Well, no, I'm sorry, Jen, you got a child in school as well, but two of you have school-age children.
Two of these squares.
You just don't.
Yeah, have to worry about that.
I will let either one of you who wants to discuss school ending on June 15th, please do.
Oh my gosh. 1.5 days. Yeah. 1.5 days on tomorrow night. Don't forget to go to Molly's bookstore to get your stock up on summer reading books, and 20% will go to the high school PTO, which is pretty awesome. And then on Thursday we have our clap out at Lincoln.
Thursday.
That's it for the Lincoln, right?
How does that work? I don't even remember.
What? Oh, it's when the fifth graders get to like walk through the school for the last time. I'm not sure what happens in the building if every class is out. Yeah. And at the end, like parents line up in a little bit of a tunnel. There might be a balloon arch and some bubbles or something. Last year I was there. They were like, get there at, the school's out at 12, so get there at 11:45. And parents got there at 11:45. Kids were running out of the door.
Oh, heck yeah. They're not going to wait. They're like, we're out of here.
They ran out like 11:35 or 11:40. People missed it because they were like, we're out of here.
Yeah.
So we're telling people to get there at 11:30.
Yeah, those kids don't care. They want out. Summertime. They're probably running on their way to if the last day of school is tomorrow, they would be running straight down to City Hall to get crepes from Kindred Crepes.
Right.
They
don't have lunch plans tomorrow. 11:30 to 3:30. Go check out our friends Kindred Crepes at City Hall.
That's a long lunchtime. It's definitely
very French. Crepes. It's crepes. It's very French lunch.
So we could do brunch and lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I might have to go over there and get a crepe tomorrow. That's a good idea. I like that. Yeah.
And then on Friday, the city is hosting the Juneteenth event, and Juneteenth, I think the flag is being raised as well. That's at 6:30 Friday, June 16th. I'll put the link to the ceremony, and we're booking now. We're close to securing Joe Phillips from the Human Rights Commission to come next week on the show to talk about Juneteenth and the importance of recognizing it and honoring it as a day in our nation's history. And
It's now a federal holiday. It's a national holiday now.
Yeah, right.
And City Hall will be closed on Monday as well, and library. Great.
All right, Tomcat, you want to do this next one?
What am I doing? All right, so here, listen. I was just actually working on this. So we got a call from one of the top executives at MMTV. Mm-hmm. Found out they've been asked to submit.
We won't say who. But
they've been asked to submit for consideration for an award one of our episodes from 2022. Right. So when you've got a stack of awesome episodes, which one do you choose? So I already looked. Episode 100, which was one of my favorites when we were in a van driving around town, was in 2021. So we can't do that.
We can't do that one.
That was my birthday night because we came back.
That's right. So the fans will have to go and rewatch all of the episodes from 2022 and come back and tell us which one is your favorite. And I'll just give you a hint that it's got to be something episode 131 or after. It's got to be June or after, because I was absent from the show for the first half of the year. So clearly that can't be one of my favorites.
How much would it hurt if they pulled one of those and said, "This is the winner," and you're like,
"Quit! I'm out."
It wouldn't happen.
Well, listen to this. So as I'm looking through the archives with the data team, episode 121 on March 29th is Mike Karaji's a guest. That's always a good episode.
That's always good.
Oh yeah, sure.
Tom Shampoo had generated a custom Wordle for the show, and I can't figure out what it was. I'm going to put the link in the chat. And so apparently this is still active, and I can't remember. I can't remember what the Wordle was.
Oh gosh, I know what it is. I already know what it is.
Do it. I put the link in there. See if you can get it.
It's on the chat.
I'm not do that right now, but I can tell. I know what it is.
That's still an active word. I forget what the word is.
So I got two of the letters, one not in order, and I have no idea what we were talking about or what they were. Anyway, so there are dozens of episodes. There's, I don't know, upwards of 50 in a year. We do a show once a week, so there's a lot to go through. I had trouble finding our YouTube channel and sort of scrolling back. So Facebook, I guess, would have them all. Maybe MMTV probably has a whole team of people, spinning them out to the film canisters and putting them in the archive in the basement, probably.
Wow, this is really good.
Right. What is it?
I don't know. I'm looking at May 17th. Just clicked on it. Julie Nolan was it?
Julie, we had Julie Nolan.
Oh, right.
Okay. All right. We can't do this live. Oh yeah, Michelle Carson was on.
Yes, we can.
I'm putting my vote in now for June 21st.
Last year, and what was?
That's when I came back.
The return.
I think there's some sports ball in that episode too.
Oh, that is a good. That's a good choice. Which episode was that?
131, June 21st.
131.
First day of spring. I'm sorry, first day of summer, rather, I should say.
Yeah.
This is tough.
Oh, she's back.
So you came in like the sunshine, Jen LeClaire.
Oh, and there was Trash Day Mayhem in the news. Oh my God, what? Probably a controversial episode.
We've had a lot of people on the show too. By the way, different guests. We've had a lot of different people on the.
This show is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I love it so much. I don't know. I don't even know if people are watching, but I just love it so much.
Right. We always, every time we think we have nothing to talk about, we always make it to 9:00. So let's wrap up with some other stuff that's going on around town. How's that sound?
Okay. That sounds great.
If you wanna check out some arts and culture, creativity and arts and culture, on Thursday there's creative writing for adults at Follow Your Art. The theme is poetry. On Friday night, the Council on Aging is hosting the film Jen Silent at the Milano Center. You have to call to reserve a seat there. There's another concert Friday night also at Follow Your Art, a live from the living room concert at Follow Your Art. Saturday, you can make last minute Father's Day gift ideas. Do it yourself Father's Day chocolates with Yara chocolate at Paper and Clay.
Yeah. I'll take some of that.
And then make your dinner plans for next week ahead of LTMM. You can go to the kitchen and make your own rainbow pride pasta at the kitchen, and then tune into LTMM afterwards.
Yeah. I still want to go back to the kitchen, the four of us, and do like a class /
we should do
eating,
that.
eating demonstration. That's what it needs to be.
Eating demonstration.
Eating
demonstration.
What year did we do the pizza tasting? That
Oh
was back
God,
in the
that was
studio.
awful.
That was in the studio.
That was
Sam and I drove around town getting 5 or 6 different slices of pizza. Well, we got
The whole
actually,
show.
we got a whole.
It's not a great show watching people
No.
eat pizza.
The whole show is people watching us eat pizza. Yeah.
But I love how it becomes a great idea. Oh, I know. Let's eat pizza and rate it on TV.
Oh, we need help from all the fans. Linda Granfield wants to know how many Melrosians live in Toronto, Canada. Any idea? No idea.
58.
I was going to say 158. That's pretty amazing.
Well, if they live in Toronto, are they Melrosians?
Is this a question that she needs answers to, or is this a quiz for us?
I think if you're a Melrosian, you're always a Melrosian, Tom.
That's true, because we do start the show Melrosians the world over. Oh, John Hammer's wondering the episode I was sitting in the chair outside of Santander Bank.
Oh,
a
Parkland.
Oh, Linda says
it was too. I was too enthralled by the passersby to make that one a good show. I don't know if that was a good show. Was that last year? Was that 2022?
I don't know. I don't remember that, so it could have been.
You know what? Though, in 2023, we got it. Plus, in these summer months, we got to get out in the field more.
Yes,
we should be out there with the people.
Yes.
Yeah, we should. Parklets, things like that. Sam, you came from a parklet.
Right. Well, it's time. It is summer, so we'll plan ahead. Oh.
I knew it was under 100.
All right, everybody. That was fun. We made it. We made it.
We covered some very deep topics. So
yes.
Yeah. We made some ground. We covered some ground today.
I think we advanced the cause tonight.
Yes. All right. So we'll be back. We'll be back next week, hopefully with Joe Phillips. And in the meantime, everybody, we will see you around town.